Hello, this is Brett Russell, and I am going to be teaching you about pedigrees. And to do that, I will be using the Zoldyck family, which is from one of my favorite shows, Hunter x Hunter, and I will be showing through 3 generations the trait of white hair versus black hair. And the white hair will be for all affected individuals, and black hair will be for all unaffected individuals. And for the sake of simplicity, we will be making this a simple Mendelian trait, meaning that one gene and locus will correspond to one trait. Okay, so here we're starting with the first generation, the grandparents. As you see, we have a affected male, Zeno, so he has white hair, and his wife, who we actually have no idea about, so we are putting a question mark for her trait. Now on to the second generation, we have Silva and Kikyo. Silva is the son of Zeno, and he is also affected from the white hair trait, and Kikyo is unaffected, so she has black hair. Finally, we have the third generation, who are the 5 children of Silva and Kikyo. And here we have Illumi, Miluki, Kilua, Kaluto, and Aluka. And so Illumi, as seen, has black hair. Miluki has black hair as well. Kilua has white hair, and Kaluto and Aluka also have black hair. So as you see, it is only one of the 5 children that has white hair. Okay, so now that we've identified each individual in the generations, we'll now be looking at the modes of inheritance for this white-haired trait. So the first thing we'll be looking at is the X-linked dominant possibility, where the trait is linked to the X chromosome, and the allele for white hair is dominant over black hair. As we see, that is not consistent with the pedigree that we have, and it is not possible because the X chromosome that is also linked to the mother's allele of small a must be passed down if the child is a male. So that means that Kilua would have to have X little a y instead of X big AY, which would make him have black hair, but in reality he has white hair. Secondly, we'll be looking at X-linked recessive, where the trait is linked to the X chromosome and the allele for white hair is now recessive into black hair. So we'll see that in the changes of the genotypes, where all affected individuals will have to have a small a to be affected by the white hair gene. And this is consistent, as you see, with the third generation, where Kilua has the X little a y genotype, which is entirely possible from the X little a that is given to him from his mother, and is also seen and backed up by Aluka, who has a big A and small a allele for the 2 X chromosomes that she has, given to her from the small x from the father and big A from the mother. Thirdly, we'll be looking at autosomal dominant, where the alleles for white hair are dominant to the alleles for black hair, and this is entirely possible and consistent with the pedigree we have, because Silva could be heterozygous dominant, and Kikyo will have to be homozygous recessive. Fourthly, we have autosomal recessive, where the alleles for white hair are recessive to black hair, and this is entirely consistent and possible given the pedigree we have, because Silva would, in this case, have homozygous recessive alleles, and Kikyo would have heterozygous dominant. Finally, we'll be looking at the Y-linked possibility, where the trait for white hair is linked to the Y chromosome, but this is not consistent with the pedigree we have because Illumi, Miluki, and Kaluto all have Y chromosomes, but they are unaffected and have black hair. And that wraps up this video about pedigrees. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped your understanding.